What is it, guys, and I do hope you're well. Today we are checking out r/VaxxHappened. Oh my word, I had a couple of people requesting this one, and I'm telling you now, you're going to be triggered by it just because I am just looking over them. I haven't properly read them yet because I like to read as I go so you can get the proper full reaction. Anyway, if you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe button, and maybe even that notification bell. And with that being said, let's get started. Vaccinations cause autism. Anyone with half a brain. That one discredited doctor who published a fraudulent paper. Unvaccinated body exists. Near extinct and easily preventable diseases. It's free real estate. We can only hope so. Help! My little brother is a pharmacist and his wife is due their third baby next week. They just informed the family that we will not be able to be around the baby if we haven't had a current DTaP shot. Which basically means me and my kids are banned, but everyone else who blindly follow can go and see the baby. I knew this would eventually happen, but I'm not even sure where to start when I have the discussion with my brother, because he thinks he knows everything. Where do I even start the discussion on this topic? You just don't. You stay the fuck away until you get your vaccination, you weird bastard. Now, this is probably a troll account. Well, it's gotta be. Once we go through these posts, there's no way we can believe this, but I'm going to read it out just for the sake of it because it popped up and it's just got to be read. My son told his whole class that vaccines are bad and that whoever is vaccinated are idiots. I'm so proud of him. He's growing up smart. #AntiVax. Well, now that is partly believable. You can believe a child maybe saying this sort of stuff in a class. But the next bit, tweeted from the same account, mind you. My son told me he had a date in an hour. Guess who knocks on the door? An hour later, a 7-year-old girl. He's 15 and he picks up a 7-year-old. I'm so proud. #proud mother. #flat earth. #anti-vax. #Alabama. It can't be, surely. Sweet home Alabama. I need some advice. 8-month-old son has been running a fever for 2.5 days, coughing, raspy cries, runny nose, congestion, and his eyes are matted shut in the mornings. He's eating less than normal as well. What are the things I can do to help him? He is unvaccinated and whole. I have so far done the following: warm rags for eyes, saline rinse and suction before feedings, cool oilology cough and congestion baths, Zarbee's vapor rub on the bottom of his feet before bed, boob juice feed only. Can I give him electrolyte juices for hydration with him not eating as often? He's still given wet and dirty diapers, but about 4 less a day than normal. These people can't be serious. The baby's lying there, his eyes are matted shut in the mornings. Must be so uncomfortable for an 8-month-old baby. Coughing, runny nose and congestion. And he's eating less than normal. I mean, come on, this has got to be a sign to take your baby to the goddamn doctor and get him vaccinated. But yeah, you keep shoving that warm rag on his face. I'm sure he's loving that. And we've got an absolute trashy post here. When you're secretly anti-vax and your mainstream friends post about not letting your non-vax kids play with their kids. Laughs in hidden. So if your kid's got measles, would you bring them to a doctor? Take them to a doctor for measles? No, why would I? It's a rash with a fever, same as chickenpox. There isn't any medicine a doctor could give them. You just need to increase their vitamin A. I'm guessing you're the type to bring your kid in for every common cold as well.
What the fuck?
My word, these people are so stupid. According to the CDC, 1 in 5 children who get measles will be hospitalised. So no, it's not just rash with a flu, you absolute moron. These people should be arrested for... Oh yeah, I'm getting triggered. So with everything going on recently, YouTube and other such companies, I think Amazon as well, have got on board by removing these people promoting anti-vax now. So YouTube has been on the case, hooray, finally. And these people are absolutely kicking off. The censorship and corruption is just beyond words, wickedness. This is what comes up when I click on links for YouTube videos related to Dr. Suzanne Humphries I had saved, a Christian who has researched and advocated about the dangers of vaccines. Also the first thing that comes up when you search her name on the internet. Wow. It's getting worse by the day now. Ugh. They should do that on gay parades. Shake my head. What? What? Yeah, whether you agree or not with the subject, people should be able to voice their opinion. The silencing of speech, especially on the conservative side, is unbelievable. Speech and thought is more controlled than ever. Scary stuff. No, the fact is that they're promoting dangerous, stupidly dangerous things by not getting vaccinated. It's absolutely insane. Stop mandatory vaccination. Mandatory vaccination laws are a global plague threatening to wipe out humanity. More people need to take to the streets. Dr. Mengele kills again. Warsaw, Poland protests against mandatory vaccination dressed in striped clothes like prisoners in a concentration camp in World War II. Now this is how low people can get. If you don't know who Dr. Mengele is, he was called the Angel of Death in Auschwitz concentration camp, known for experimenting in all sorts of things on people, like horrific stuff. And I don't know what these people are trying to achieve by that, but how can they advocate this kind of stuff? I mean, it's... people, man. If people don't stop taking shots for flu at birth, everyone will have autism. I can't even tell if you're serious or joking. A lot of academics believe, alongside ADHD, is an evolutionary trait. We all had measles 45 years ago. We all lived in developed countries with sewers, clean water, etc. I would be wanted to expose my child to it, nothing like natural immunity. An otherwise 22-month-year-old would benefit in the long run. No, they wouldn't. Jeez. Here's the simple answer to this. Even if you are vaccinated with the MMR, you can still get measles. There you go. Now decide yourself. Stop with the fear. You're falling victim to media propaganda. Live your life and take care of your child. Health doesn't come in a vaccine, but it helps. Pretty simple. The vaccine is 100 times more dangerous than the measles could ever be. Death from vaccines is very common, and or permanent injury. Death or permanent injury from measles is almost entirely unheard of. If you're injected with a vaccine, and if the vaccine actually contains a virus, you are actually injecting her with the virus, so she sure is to get it. So vaccines do not protect from the illness, they actually cause the illness, and they spread it too. So if you inject her with it, she'll most likely be the cause of more children getting measles, simply because she will be shedding measles, mumps, rubella, and varicella for up to 8 weeks. Talk about typhoid Mary on steroids. Ultimately it's your choice, but I personally would not do it, especially since they do not offer just measles. It is the MMR, and that is the risk I'm not comfortable taking. You need to research how to treat it if you do come in contact. That will help you understand what the risk may be. There are books on the subject, and there are YouTube videos, there are medical papers, there are articles all over the internet. Good luck, mama. You can look into the homeoprophylaxis vaccines if you are interested in a better option. Measles is a common childhood disease. A few days feeling sick and a rash for a couple of weeks, not a big deal at all. Not a big deal at all. Didn't we already go over this earlier? How can they say that measles is a common thing and it's not a big deal at all? It's extremely dangerous for children, and a simple search will tell you that. But what is going through these people's heads? How are they so warped into thinking that they don't need these vaccines and measles is just nothing and can be brushed off easily? Anti-vaxxers be like, love them, protect them, never inject them. Nearly forgotten century-old diseases. Oh boy, here I go killing again. I kind of wish it had Skeletor in there though. That would have made it so much more sweeter. Please cite the science that says vaccines stop the diseases. I don't have to. You see, I don't play that game with anti-vaxxers like you because we've played your little game of moving goalposts for the last 15 years. That's why there are laws being formed, because you're unreachable. The number of successes are right there, and you deny them, like denying a brick wall right in front of your face. So I know damn well I won't prove anything to you, but I can sure show everyone how stupid you are, being along with how rotten. I'm both pro-herbal medicine and pro-vaccination, because you can treat burns with aloe vera juice and sore throats with lavender, infused honey, but you can't rid a country of polio with plants. This. Don't forget kids, jewelweed is a natural counteragent to poison ivy rashes, but it won't do shit against whooping cough. Mint for nausea, valerian and chamomile for sleep, antibiotics for fucking infections. I will never not reblog this. Someone who sees sense and sees both the positives in vaccinations and herbal stuff. No one's denying that herbal remedies are not a great thing, but we have to roll with the science. Hi guys, I have a 5-month-old who is not vaccinated and has come down with a flu. She can barely breathe out of her nose and her eyes won't stop weeping. Is there any natural remedies you can suggest for me? Congratulations, your baby will be a lot stronger to be able to easily fight this then. Congratulations, your baby is badly ill. What the fuck kind of logic is that? My mother wept when the polio vaccine became available. Her children were never going to get polio. She dressed us up to get the vaccine. My brothers wore suits, I wore a dress. It was a celebration. And here comes the piece of shit to ruin a perfectly good post. This is all well and good. I'm happy for you. What, you had 1, maybe 2 vaccines back then? Now these poor kids are getting over 50, and they are full of all sorts of crap that is harming our kids. Do your research. And I've never heard of children getting over 50 vaccines. I think I've maybe had like 2 in my life. Satan, vaccinate your fucking kids. The section down here is getting too busy. Jesus Christ says. It's true. Kids that could be vaccinated but aren't, all go to hell. It's not that they're bad, it's just that we sure as fuck don't want a measles outbreak in heaven. It's so good. How a hippie town became our anti-vaxxer capital. Anti-vaccination fever has taken off around the globe, with dire consequences for public health. Ground zero for this kind of thinking in Australia is Mullumbimby. Bimby? Mullumbimby. I don't know if I got that right. But holy crap, imagine if someone gets some sort of disease, if someone gets measles there, it's going to wipe the whole town out. I'm RN and anti-vax. Today I admitted a patient to Home Health Services and we started to talk about vaccines, and the patient and daughter brought up the outbreak of measles and why people should get vaccines. I was able to provide information about measles shot and how people shed and get other people possibly exposed. They had no clue, and the daughter was shocked and said she needed to read up on that. We might not change their mind, but we put a seed in their brain to question things. What a wonderful day.
Wait a minute. This isn't my world. Disappointed!
Now these are the kind of sad, triggering posts that I hate hearing about on Facebook. I'm packing and leaving my boyfriend this Sunday over the whole vaccine debate. Our daughter is 6 months old and not vaccinated. I'm hoping to keep it that way. Here's for them, and I'm tired of fighting him when he doesn't listen to me. His family can go shove it because I'm done. I hope I'm doing the right thing. I just feel weird and mixed right now. I don't handle breakups very well. We're not married, but he's threatening to take her without me. And I told him no, I'm still breastfeeding and I don't trust him alone with her because he might go behind my back and get her the damn pokies. I am on antidepressants for major depression, anxiety and panic attacks. Is there any chance he could win her if he took me to court? I'm in Tennessee and we'll be on the other side of Knoxville. I was thinking of signing a religious exemption for both my kids. If he brings up my depression and that I am possibly transgender, could he use that as leverage? I'm scared. See, that's just a fucked up, sad situation that a family's being broken up by this stupid argument. To me, I don't know if I'm right or wrong here, but she doesn't sound in the right mind. If she's depressed, got anxiety, well, major depression, anxiety and panic attacks, she don't sound like she's in the right frame of mind to be deciding on that child's future. Especially something like vaccines, which is so important. I don't know what a religious exemption is though. I'll have to look that one up. I love how stupid people are. Do you really think vaccines help to save lives? You're putting unknown chemicals into your body which magically detour diseases. Grow up, America. Hashtag anti-vax. Hashtag grow up, America. Hashtag you're stupid. Hashtag smart. Hashtag vaccines are bad. And look, there's actually 92 comments, 2 retweets, and like 22 hearts on that. So people actually like that. And they think they're smarter than us. Wouldn't you just love to see their faces as they're sat there with measles? I don't wish measles on no one, you know, but wouldn't you just love that? Just to shove that post in their face. Just say, who's the dumbass now? In a country with a population of over 300 million people, do the math. What's shameful is you trampling over the First Amendment rights, ignoring parents with children who suffered severe reactions, even death. That doesn't concern you though. That is shameful. Vax woke. Hashtag my choice. Well now, you're telling me even vaccinated she still got it. Wow, so maybe just vaccinations aren't all they're cracked up to be. 24 at University of Florida has mumps, though vaccinated. And even if you explain to that person how the vaccines worked, you'd still just be banging your head against a brick wall because there's just no logic getting through to these people. My daughter suffered terrible side effects from vaccination and doctor refused to report it to Adverse Reactions Committee. You're free to think what you like, as am I. Can you tell me what side effects? Most people wrongly put 2 things together. Why? So you can tell me it wasn't the vaccine? Possibly because the best knowledge we both have is online research. You assume too much. I studied medical science for 4 years, among other things. I've spent a lifetime learning lots from my experiences. I'm not some ignorant, misinformed fool. I know what I know. Come on. Vaccine research. Anti-vax mum research. Jared did get the measles. Tina was not surprised really. She knew he ate too many sweets and chips every day. Hope the measles make his body stronger and more mature than he learns to eat more fresh foods to take better care of his body. Tina thought to herself. Yeah guys, you're listening now. No more fizzy drinks, crisps or burgers because you're gonna get measles. And we got that stupid shit post again. Stop mandatory vaccination. My followers. Earlier today I was arguing with numerous pro-vaxxers on a thread, and the topic of my followers was brought up and how I deceive them. For the record, I prefer the word audience. One of my replies was a share of my website featuring dozens of parents who share their stories of vaccine injury and death, which of course the pro-vaxxers rejected. But as I think about this more, the true followers are the pro-vaxxers, just blindly believing everything dished out to them in sound bites by their doctor and mainstream media. My audience, those who are vaccine skeptics, who become the vaccine educated, are far from being followers. They're independent thinkers who review far more datasets, stories and information pieces than the average pro-vaxxer. So, indeed, I do not have followers. I have access to communicate with some of the most sophisticated, intelligent and discerning souls on the planet who would be hard pressed to follow anyone. So no, I'm not deceiving anyone. Everyone in the vaccine skeptic community does their own research to reach their own conclusions to end vaccine mandates and even barbaric practice of vaccination.
How about new?
It sounds like a cult. This sounds like a cult to you. It sounds a really scary place to be. I can see these big meetings somewhere in America, hooded robes on, chanting anti-vax, anti-vax. We're rubbing oils all over themselves. Oh, it sounds like some sort of orgy now. I'm out of here. And we're going to end on the saddest post I've come across on this anti-vax so far. Tylenol is poison. Nurse here. I had a 3-year-old come in with terrible flu. Kid already had asthma and other breathing issues from being premature. Kid absolutely needs the flu shot annually. Well, mum was adamant against it. I was in triage and the kid was breathing about 60 a minute and pale as can be. Fever of 104 that mum said it started a couple of days ago, but she refused to give Tylenol or Motrin because that stuff is poison. Well, her kid was severely septic, ended up intubated and died 4 days later in the PICU. And that's an ER nurse saying that, and it's just, I don't understand why you would even take the risk. And that just hit so hard, like with so many young members of family around me, nieces and nephews and stuff like that. It's so heartbreaking that someone can lose a child from such negligence. It's so stupid. Anyway guys, I would just like to say a massive thank you for being here today. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please consider hitting the like, the subscribe, the notification bell, all that good stuff, and join us next time. Much love guys, take care, goodbye.
Now, let's learn how to play
Dubstep.
Listen to this.
Well, I can't put it